Hey Dave, my name is Ortega. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Southern California. I've been following you for a few months now on LinkedIn. I'm not sure exactly how I found you. I'm sure I saw you commenting on some CIC related post, and one thing led to another and kind of fell down the rabbit hole and found your page. I myself have earned the CIC designation as of May. I'm currently working on the CRM, and so that's also kind of why I linked up with you, because I kind of felt that connection. Like, all right, he's been through what I've been through, and he's already been through what I'm trying to do. So I sort of followed you for that kind of insight on the way you think and what you do. On top of that, I'm a huge podcast junkie, and I've listened to just about every power producers podcast there is. I played baseball my whole life and collegiately, so I remember the very first podcast I heard in the intro where it says, you said something about a 5-tool player. Like, I was hooked. So ever since then, I've been listening to power podcasts and just learned a lot from it. A few weeks ago, you had posted something about the Protege program, and so I entered just to find out what it was. Making this submission video and even joining this program is something kind of out of my comfort zone, and it's something I usually wouldn't do, but I absolutely feel, comfortable with it because I've been listening to the podcast so long. I feel like I essentially work at Florida Risk Partners. But I'm excited to move forward with it, learn more about it, and hopefully make that top 10. The reason I should be picked as a top 10 finalist, full disclosure, I'm actually an account manager in my current role, but the first little shop I worked at was a mom and pop, and I essentially produced personal lines for them. So I have a little bit of producing from that sort of arena of it, but where I'm at now is a middle market commercial, and so obviously the account manager position was an opportunity for me to grow from where I was, and even though I'm an account manager, quote unquote, here, I'm one of the few that get to go out on renewal calls or client meetings or even new business meetings. One, because I understand what I'm doing and I have that hunger. I'm always asking questions about what's next, and two, they're sort of breeding me to promote into that producer exec role. So it's kind of a slowly but surely thing. I know you always talk about hybrids, being both a technician and a salesman. And that's absolutely what I am and what they're training me to be. I understand, the technicalities of things, the forms, the coverages, what we're doing here. But at the same time, I do have that charisma, that personality to be a salesman or a producer, because, sometimes you can be one and not the other, but I truly feel like I'm that rare individual that does have both components for it. So that being said, me being an account manager, I think not only would be interesting for the program to say, we have 1 or 2 account managers versus these 7, 8, or 9 other producers. It would be beneficial to me, because then it shows me that, even though that kind of is where my career is supposed to go and what I plan on doing, it'll prove to me now that I have what it takes to compete on a national level and see what these people from all over the country right now are kind of doing, and what their mindset or how they do things compared to the way I do things. Being picked as a top 10 finalist would definitely change the trajectory of my career. Like I said, I've been listening to your podcast for a while. So I know the way you guys go about things, the way you lead with comp, the type of things you talk to put a wedge in between the current broker and trying to get in. Like I said earlier, I'm on that technician side. I know the forms, the documents, how to account manage, how to file and all that. But at the same time, I do have that personality to produce, and my manager see it in me. Really, I just need a foot in the door to get in that top 10, because I feel like all these tasks are supposed to be assigned week to week are going to be my opportunity to really just run with it, show what I can do, show what I'm capable of, and again, just prove to myself what I'm capable of on a national level. And on top of it, this isn't something, I reach out to my manager like, hey, you think I should join or anything? This is something that I'm doing on my own, just like baseball. Going to practice 1 or 2 nights a week is not going to make you better. The way you get better is doing those reps on your own, day in and day out. And this is sort of that, repetition for me. I'm going on my way to do something on my own. totally outside of my job description. I don't need to do it, but I want to because I'm hungry and I just want to learn and get better. So with that being said, that's my submission, Dave. Thanks for the podcast. I really enjoy listening to the background while I do work, stuff like that. Hopefully I get picked in the top 10. It'd be nice to meet you guys, see you in person. And if you want to send a Florida Risk Partners t-shirt my way, please feel free to do so. Thanks, man.